Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Fine Cider Friday, and this week I have got an experiment from Beardspoon, who are based in Kent. Beardspoon are a relatively small producer and a bit of a hobby for them, but slowly growing. Been around since 2011, two friends who have got together for their love of cider and are making some great creations, mainly with eating apples and cooking varieties. But this experiment has got some cider varieties, so Dabinet, Bittersweet, Michelin, and then some eating apples, Fiesta and Russet, and then a cooking variety, Bramley. And it's been aged in a sweet chestnut barrel. So this is their experiment on barrel aging. 6% semi-dry. I think they bottled it at 1003. So that's I think that's what I bottled my pet nat at this year. So there's a little bit of fizz in there, and there's a bit of sugar added to it. So I'm expecting a little bit of sweetness. It's very pale, so I think the dominant apple there is those eating and cooking varieties that have given it that kind of paler colour. It's got a bit of cloudiness to it from some of the bottle conditioning, I believe, and there's a nice ring of bubbles there, a nice little gentle carbonation, which looks fantastic, doesn't it? Hope you can see it on the light. Let's have a sniff. So there's definitely green apple in the background. And then there's that kind of hint of orange that you get with Dabinet. Dabinet's first on the list, so I don't know if that's, the most prominent, but I can definitely feel like I can smell it. And then there's the wood, and it smells quite youthful, quite like if you're cutting, I don't know if to describe this very well, but if you're cutting down a tree and you get that kind of fresh wood smell, not like an aged barn. It's very new. And then there's a whisper of some kind of bit of oxidation on the end, like slightly acetic, but not vinegar at all. It's just a little hint of, maybe a little hint of it. Anyway, let's try it and see. It's really juicy. There's quite a bit of acidity, but that parts way at the end and then gives you this kind of sweetness, which will be from that added sugar, I think. Have another sip. The bubbles are almost gone. It's almost a bit still actually. But I have had a glass before, as you can see from the level. I had a glass before I poured this one, so I'm wondering if it's just been out a little bit longer. But some rather interesting noise in the background. Apologies about that. It's got quite a finish on it, just like abrupt. It doesn't linger. And it's kind of this twirl of acidity and sweetness, and I can't pick out which I think is more dominant. That kind of oxidation that I got on the nose is almost not there at all. I don't think anybody would really pick it up. I'm a little bit sensitive to it, maybe. Yeah, predominantly it's like fresh biting into an apple, eating fruit, with a bit of woody note, which you get from the barrel. I've not had a cider in chestnut barrel, I don't think, before, so it's quite interesting. One last sip. For me, the cider varieties, like Michelin, is something you use in a blend normally, so it's not really a predominant flavour. Dabinet, there's definitely that kind of citrusy zing in there that's maybe come from that. But the dominant flavour for me is those eating and cooking apples, where you get that kind of fresh acidity and that green apple flavour. So I think that's a great first experiment into barrel aging. I'm really intrigued by that chestnut barrel, and I hope that that Steve and Dave do a bit more. So cheers to you both, Steve and Dave. Thanks for sharing with me. Cheers to all of you watching, and cheers this weekend.